Hello everybody and welcome to
Dad and Me Love History.
Dad and me love a whole lot of history. We could be the greatest team that the world has ever seen. Dad and me love a whole lot of history.
We hope you had a lovely Christmas holiday. We've just moved into the southern hemisphere, where Christmas time is summertime and the school summer holidays last until February.
But we're back on the pod now.
Yep, and thank you for your reviews and messages over the holidays.
You can get in touch with us on Instagram or Facebook.
Or through dadandmelovehistory.com. We've begun to appear on different lists recommending fun and educational family podcasts. Thank you Radio Public for including us in your 2018 retrospective, and thank you to the state of Indiana for featuring us alongside some of the world's top podcasts on your hit list.
Thank you for your emails, like this one.
Hello, this is from London. I am Arush, and I am almost 8 years old, and I think that you make the best podcasts. I'm always looking forward to the next episode and love the way you make your podcasts.
Thank you, Arush. You didn't know Bart Simpson voice.
Oh, sorry if you didn't like my voice there, Arush, but thank you for your email, and good luck with your great charity challenge. Arush is going to read and review 100 books to raise £1,000 for Books to Africa.
Check out his Facebook page.
It's called The Ultimate Book Challenge by Arush Lala.
Today we're looking at why did the Vikings stop being vicious?
Yep, first we'll be finding out just how vicious the Vikings could be. And then we'll investigate why, eventually, the Vikings stopped being, well, Vikings. So James, where did the Vikings come from?
Sweden, Denmark and Norway.
Too easy. The Vikings were people who lived in lands that are today the countries known as Scandinavia. Yep, Denmark, Sweden, Norway are known as Scandinavia. The Viking Age really got going from around 800 AD to, well, historians usually take the year 1066 as the end of the Viking Age, but we'll see why later. Do you know what the name Viking means? Any guesses? What would you like it to mean?
Vicious.
Now that would be useful, yeah. I'm sure a lot of people would like Viking to mean vicious. It actually means to raid like a pirate, or pirate raid, in their old Norse language, as it's called. So people from around Norway, the old language was called Norse.
Did you know, if you lived near this sea, you were most likely to get attacked? The Vikings were famous for sailing huge distances from home and then attacking and stealing from the foreigners' lands.
But they didn't only attack people. Sometimes they traded things like furs, honey and animal skins for items from other countries, like silk or wine. So they weren't always fighting. But there's no denying that the Vikings were big on violence. For example, they believed that any argument between two Vikings should be decided by fighting. Whoever killed the other one, or at least beat them up, was clearly right. But the Vikings are more famous for attacking other people. The Vikings began raiding places across the sea from Scandinavia, such as England and Scotland.
But they attacked, but they didn't make it into Scotland.
How did the Vikings send secret messages?
By the Viking phones?
Good guess. But no, they sent their messages by Norse code. The Vikings first raided English villages a few years before 800 AD in the year 787. They would attack monasteries where church monks lived, because there could be valuable objects like silver knives or candlesticks there, and the monks would have no weapons to defend themselves. But most of the Vikings who went raiding were not professional soldiers. It's not what they did all the time, or even most of the time. Most spent most of their time farming. They were farmers, and that's what they would do nearly all of the year, taking care of their farms. But they saw raiding as an opportunity to occasionally gain more money to buy more land. What do Vikings play when they're on a long journey?
Battleships.
Sometimes they probably did play battle with their ships, but on this occasion, the answer of what they would play would be cards, because they always had a deck. So the Vikings began to settle in lands outside of Scandinavia. Do you know what settle means, James?
Like build houses, like make a town.
Yeah, maybe.
For them to live in.
Yeah, so there's a big difference between raiding somewhere and then leaving and settling. And they did begin to settle in parts of England, in some parts of Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Iceland, Germany, and France. And later Swedish Vikings went to live in Russia, and other Vikings went to the south end of Italy. Last year we took a flight from Russia to Italy, but the Vikings got to these places using their longboats, over 100 feet long. They were brilliant boat builders. The boats were narrow enough to sail not only on the sea, but up rivers too, so they were designed to make it easier to raid villages that are not just on the sea, but up rivers. It meant they could attack more places and explore more places.
Did you know some Vikings raided parts of northern Africa and some settled in Greenland, and they even made it to Canada?
Yep, that's right. The Vikings got to North America 500 years before Christopher Columbus did in 1492. The Viking boats were so good, they were able to use them to travel to other continents, not just other countries.
Even those continents.
We're told that Christopher Columbus discovered the American continent. Never mind the Native Americans already living there, of course. But the Vikings had landed in what is now Canada in around 1000 AD, just before the end of the Viking era as we know it. The Vikings who landed in North America were led by an Icelandic Viking chief called Leif Erikson. This was many years after the Vikings had conquered Iceland. Leif called the new land he found Winland. Centuries later, objects from Viking homes and boats were found in what's today called Newfoundland in Canada. That's how we know the Vikings made it to North America, and that's where we've got our evidence they didn't just raid, they actually lived there. But it seems that there were not large numbers of Vikings moving to North America.
Did you know, in the winter, Vikings would use sleds to get around?
Yeah, they'd use, back in Scandinavia, Viking sleds as their main method of transport when it was snowy. One famous Viking god, have you heard of this Viking god? Was called Thor.
Yeah, superhero movies.
Superhero movies, that's right, it's the same Thor. That's where the idea comes from. Thor was the god of thunder. What does every Viking do on their birthday? They get older.
Did you know the Vikings were eco-warriors? The longhouses where families lived had mud roofs to keep their heat.
That would keep the electricity bill low. Thick mud on your roofs, keeping the heat inside. You'd have a little fire going in winter inside. Who knew? The Vikings were eco-friendly. At least they're some sort of friendly.
So why did the Vikings stop being vicious?
Well, one setback they faced in England came in that year we mentioned at the beginning, 1066. The Vikings, led by King Harold Hardrada, of Norway, lost an important battle in the north of England against another Harold, the English king Harold Godwinson. And by the way, this was just before the English Harold Godwinson had to march his exhausted army back down south to fight William the Conqueror a few days later. Hey, with a name like William the Conqueror, the English should have guessed that William would win. That may be a joke for parents.
Can you think of other reasons why Vikings stopped being, Vikings?
Right, yeah. So the Vikings stopped being like that kind of stereotype vicious Vikings that we learn about for a few different reasons. Their enemies started getting proper armies organised. So when the Vikings attacked, instead of just facing some scared farmers, by around the 11th century, the Vikings often faced large, well-trained armies who were not easily scared away. So in case you're wondering about Viking military tactics, they're not like the Romans, super organised and well-drilled and with all the best weapons. They basically made a load of noise, went "Aah!" and went running at their enemies and caused as much destruction as possible. And people were scared of them, so they'd run away. But another reason why they stopped being so vicious was because many of the places the Vikings targeted built better defences, those monasteries where church monks lived. They built higher walls and watchtowers. Some monasteries even moved the whole building miles away from the coast, somewhere safe inland. Finally, Christianity spread to Viking lands, and the Vikings could not help but notice that Jesus was not a fan of stealing and killing. So when they followed Christianity, more Vikings were encouraged to settle down, and many settled down in the lands that they would already raided or conquered, or that their ancestors had conquered. And so, instead of attacking a country like England, they became a part of it. So somebody like me and you with British blood, we've definitely got some Viking in our blood.
How do you know?
If you can trace your family tree back within Britain for a few generations, like we know ours was, then almost everyone's got some Viking blood. Like they've also almost certainly got some Celtic blood, a lot have some Roman blood as well, Anglo-Saxon blood. The Angles and Saxons invaded after the Romans and just before the Vikings. So we're German a mix.
Blood?
Yeah, the Angles and Saxons were from Germany.
Oh.
It just wasn't called Germany then. So the Vikings stopped doing so much raiding and more of them settled down. So you see, really, the Vikings stopped acting like Vikings. Over time, they became just normal people as they mixed in with these new lands. That's it on the Vikings.
We love history. We love history, baby. We love history. If you like our podcast, please share it on Instagram
And Facebook.
and Twitter.
Yes, tell your friends so they can enjoy it too. If you spread the Dad and Me love, we'll get more listeners and we'll make more episodes. Also, if you have any requests for any history topic or any question you want answered, go to dadandmelovehistory.com or find us on social media and tell us your ideas. Bye for now from
Dad and me love history. Dad and me love a whole lot of history. We could be the greatest team that the world has ever seen. Dad and me love a whole lot of history. Happy birthday, Mummy.
Happy birthday, Mama.
You've been the best Mummy on Dad and Me Love History. The aircon's still going. Thank you, Arush.
Just going to try it in a different voice.
Theme music. Wait, who's going to say theme music? It's in green.
We just have the theme music now.
Oh.
Or through dadandmelovehistory.com.
.au.
It's not.
Oh. It could be.
How did the Vikings send secret messages?
By the Viking phones?
Good guess. But no, they sent their messages by Norse code.
What's Morse code?
Have you heard of Morse code? Dot dash 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 dot dash. Well, that joke went down well with this generation. What do Vikings play when they're on a long journey?
Battleships. Battlefields. Battleships.
Very close.
Was it? I forgot.
Sometimes they probably did play battle with their ships.
Battleships.
Sometimes they probably did play battle with their ships.
Battleship!
But on this occasion, I'm making it so they would understand it. But on this occasion, the answer of what they would play would be cards. Because they always had a deck. A deck of cards.
Oh. Ha ha ha. Fine.
I think we've done it. We did an end, didn't we? Yeah, bye for now. Okay, thank you. You gave me an idea. I can go on the BBC sound effects website and get some ha 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 laughter to put after my jokes.
Here are 8 questions to see if you've been listening.
1. Name 3 countries of today where Vikings came from.
2. What does the word Viking mean?
3. About how many years before Christopher Columbus did the Vikings reach North America?
4. Name some European countries that the Vikings attacked.
5. Name 2 places outside of Europe that the Vikings attacked.
6. How long were Viking boats?
7. Can you remember any reasons why the Vikings eventually stopped attacking like Vikings?
8. When a Viking leader died, where would they bury him?